All right, I'll try to go slow. And first off, I'm going to say, well, actually, this is the second video I did this afternoon. The first one is just more like a fair amount of die rolling. It's, I don't know, it's 23 minutes long. I have it up on YouTube. It doesn't mean I'm going to post it. Because primarily, to be honest with you, it's more or less what I want to talk about, what happened or what I see happening rather than the die rolls, especially due to the fact that I was using my new CRT and it's absolutely bloody and deadly, and I would say I'm cautious, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think I have to understand its permutations and whatnot, and what it means on how to strategize and do things. I'm going to have to move the camera around. I wanted to try to use the overhead thingamajig, but it's just not going to give me enough magnification. I still want to get one of those, what is it, point, tilt, and zoom cameras. I still want to do a little bit more research because it's expensive. And I want to make sure it's, you know, I'm going to have it overhead. So I want to make sure that it can be mounted properly, and I want a nice remote so I can, you know, obviously do that. Anyways, I'll go over. Here's the area that I'm not doing anything about. I did do some reconnaissance. I removed all the Russian strength points for now. It's the end of the German turn. I'll tell you what's been going on. So here's von Bosma's Corps, what is the 31st Corps, I think. Yet again, we're not doing anything. I'm going to get, primarily it's due to the fact that I think I've mentioned the Germans in the Eastern Europe conflict zone are not getting any more reinforcements. They're not getting anything. And I don't know when it's going to happen. It's certainly not going to happen this month. I've already stripped 20 divisions from the Western Europe conflict zone to help them out here. I can't keep doing that because it's, you know, that was already a youch. Anyway, so we went off to here, and this is now we're going towards, actually, which is kind of nice that it's going towards William Aarons's neck of the woods over here. Yep. And I knew just there was an unbelievable amount of strength points. You don't see them anymore because I've removed them. Unfortunately, maybe I should have kept them on. So I had the 41st Infantry Division here. They were split up into two, the 74th, I think, and the 75th Infantry Brigades. I had them as three. They were 3 strength points each. I decided to sacrifice this trenched position. It's still a trench there. When the Russians do move in, it'll become a devastation marker. Essentially, it'll just reduces the movement, but it increases your movement cost by 2 points, and doesn't have any effect on combat for defensive purposes or any of that stuff, but it's not nice. You can fix it if you want. But anyway, so there you go. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to move and incorporate back the 41st Infantry Division here, and just take it on the chin. We'll see what happens. I know probably not, well, we're going to be forced to retreat. They just got such an unbelievable amount of strength points there. It's not funny. That being said, another mistake that I'm starting to clue in that I didn't do with the Germans was the fact that I didn't have any reserve troops, and there's a glowing hole here. There was paper thin, and I had to start stripping off some of the 9th Army up in East Prussia. We'll take a look at them in a second. So those troops are going to be for William Aarons. It's going to be popped on over here. It doesn't really matter who they are, but they've just been entrained, and that's the railhead. That's as far as they can get, and I'm going to try to get them towards Łódź as quickly as possible. But still, the Russians kind of have the jump on me in a sense. Still far away, but that's the way it is. Also here, I think you can just see them. Yep, there's another division that's going towards this corps for the 8th Army. And yet again, that's been stripped from the 9th Army up in East Prussia, just due to the fact I have to do something. I have no choice. So let's go on up towards Warsaw and the rest of the 8th Army and towards the 11th Army, which is kind of like a support for the 9th up towards here. And they did do an attack, and it was good. I just got to see what you guys can see. Yep. So nothing yet again with the 8th Army over towards here. I've mentioned before that it's going to be a pretty quiet sector. This was not a quiet sector. Well, so I did force a retreat here. So the 11th Army direct were able to mount an attack from here, and here towards this spot. We did force the retreat. They went back towards this spot, and we advanced into there. Not bad. I was pretty happy with that. 18 strength points fully supplied, and the Russians did not counterattack supplied. I got away pretty good there. Then we went up towards Memel, and we took a beating there, a beating. And I'm learning with my CRT, and I'm really enjoying the permutations of what occurred. Yep, you can see this, and hopefully it's still a half decent distance. So over here I could see they had 20 strength points sitting here. I knew damn well I had a 43 or something. I just took a beating, and I was like, okay, we got to, like, I know they're gonna, really put the squeeze on Memel. Yet again, with this bloody spit of land, it sucks. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do it, because there is a separation of water between there and there. Still, it causes a lot of grief. I'm not able to supply, bring troops across from here because it's clear water. Wasn't able to swap the 6 points. They're now down to 4 because they took a hit, to bring some 6 over towards here in Memel, this little fortress, the Spit Fortress. Which doesn't exist in Dervel Creek. I popped it in because it was there historically, but it was given over to the civilians, I think, at the turn of the 20th century. Fell in disrepair, but I'm still going to use it that way, just as a 1 strength point fortress. Nothing amazing. Anyways, so I tried to do a hit. Well, I did. I took a pasting, and what I'm learning about my thing is, if you want to do an attack against forces that are defended with a lot, they can supply their counters attack, and they've got a lot of strength points sitting there, and they had 20, so they ended up with 60. They inflicted 14 hits on the Germans. It was brutal. I think I inflicted 7, so they didn't have to be forced to retreat, but I know that Memel's about to fall, which sucks. They have a lot of troops here that they can actually probably secure this position, and I'm like, oh geez, I had to do something. But I did do something. These 2 positions here were Russian areas, and they're now devastation marker areas, but I was able to advance after combat, which was wonderful. I actually was able to wipe out an Opolcheny brigade, only 1 strength point, but still I was able to do that, and I nearly wiped out an entire division. Like I said, when you get into high strength points with my combat results table, it is brutal. But I'm okay with that because the way I look at it, I'm not able to sustain an attack for long anyways, due to the nature of how expensive it is to do things. I'm liking this. I'm learning how to play with this. So anyways, I didn't fully supply, I only supplied the attack with my siege artillery over here. They stayed put. But look at this guy. This guy's in a lot of trouble now. I'm like all the way around here. This is wonderful. I think these guys are going to have to get the hell out of here, because I can now start, I think, essentially negating their trench bonus, because I'm able to hit from opposite sides quite a bit, or something like that. I'll have to look it up. Anyways, we did force them to retreat towards this area. However, the Russian First Army over here, Rennenkamp, was able to supply fully the counterattack. So we did take some hits, but they just didn't have a lot of strength points sitting there. They only had 5 and a 6. So and with them forced to retreat, it wasn't tripled, it was only doubled. So they weren't able to do a lot, but it's still a kind of like a reminder. And yet again, with these guys over here, I did fully supply I didn't use any artillery whatsoever. I just used straight up infantry. They were from here, and I was able to successfully force a retreat. They went back that way. Almost, like I said, almost. There's barely nothing left of them there. Actually, there's only a core HQ sitting there. So yet again, I'm going to be causing some grief. This can be interesting to see what happens now with the effects of this. I'm okay with it so far. I don't see anything god-awful horrible that's happened. I think that's it, really. I think this is actually a better video than the first one. I'm going to go off now to do the Austro-Hungarians. I'm excited as hell. I can't wait to see how this continues on. I really want to, I'm really enjoying the decision points I have to start making, and it's making a lot of sense for me. I don't know if it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy in the sense that I'm morphing the rules to suit the way I want to see the universe this way, but I don't know. I'm liking it. It's got some fun, Yeah, it still feels like a lot of the headaches of the Great War. It's not like things are going to just like go. It does at the beginning, but I'm going to peter out pretty darn quick. I think that's what's going to end up happening. But I'm fascinated to see the long-term effects. I think what's going to end up happening yet again with what I'm starting to look at, starting to see with the operational feel of Great War games is. That yeah, you can make local successes, but in the long run, how is this really actually winning you the war? Yeah, and maybe that's why people don't like. I don't know. Like a lot of times, people don't want to. Some people don't enjoy playing the Great War because they're always like, oh, it's whatever, it's slow. But maybe that's what it is. You get some local successes, but you don't win the war that way, kind of thing. I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, I don't know. I'm having a blast, and I'm going to keep on trucking with this, and I'm off to go and take a look also at the Arabian conflict zone, which has been a ton of fun to take a look at as well. This is good, man. This is good. Hope you're having fun. See ya.